Hi, and welcome to that time of the week when the stars come out to play and waffle away to the main man, the top banana, the big kahuna, the waffle meister himself, Mr. Steve Blacknell.
Buongiorno, guten tag, buenos dias, or to use my native tongue, hello. I'm Steve Blacknell, or what's left of me, and this is the Waffle Show. 3 great guests coming up. 2 people called John Altman. Go figure. But our first guest is a lady who's been a demure model, a TV actress, a film star even. And when I was 25 years old, I was ogling at the TV screen, my jaw dropping. And it's just about to drop again because she is, the one and only Francoise Pascal. So, Francoise, wonderful to meet you at last. Right, born in Mauritius. Now, how come the move to Paris? What happened?
Well, because we left Mauritius to come to England. And from England, my father was very ill. And from England, we went to Paris. And I did my studies there and came back to London afterwards.
So were you seeing yourself as an actor? I mean, you do everything, let's face it. But when you started out, did you start out as a glamour model, as they say?
Well, I wasn't really a glamour model. I don't know what I started up as. I was, it was a dream that I had, and that dream came true for some reason or another. And I'm pretty lucky. I didn't start up as anything. But people met me and they got me into, in the, in the business. And it started when I was about 17.
Well, you first came to our attention, of course, with in 1977 with Mind Your Language, which was, these days, probably wouldn't be on the telly. But now I'm going to say it right. I'm looking down at my notes. Danielle Favre. Was that you?
Oh, yes, that was me. Actually, you're wrong because it's on the television on That's TV 2, channel 65 on Sky. Actually, every night at 9 o'clock at night, every day.
I had no idea. I wouldn't have thought that'd be possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually come back, and it's unbelievable the amount of people that's been writing in, saying how fantastic that they are seeing the series again. And it really is as popular as it used to be.
So that finished in something like 79, something like that? 77
to 80. And then in 84, I think, they started it again.
All right.
83, 84.
Repeat. So after that, I mean, I was checking out the notes and I've seen Girl in My Soup. I didn't realise you were in that. But you worked with the great Peter Sellers, of course.
Yeah, I worked with great Peter Sellers twice. I did Girl in My Soup with him, and I did Soft Beds and Hard Battles.
What was he like to work with? It's the old interview question. What was he like to work with? But what was he like to work with?
I'm asked this question all the time. He was wonderful. He was really very funny. I mean, not one moment on filming with him that you couldn't laugh. I mean, you were always laughing. So you always got out of the set, get away from the set and everybody else. You know, having such joy in your heart working with somebody like him.
Being such a stunner at the time, did that sort of detract in your mind from people just saw you as an object rather than a talent? Was that a bit of a battle?
It was a great battle because unfortunately when you're good looking and you have, everything going for you, you can get very jealous also. So it did bring a lot of animosity towards, other women, and men were always eyeing me when I was young. And of course, when they were eyeing me, the wives didn't like it. It was, I'm quite happy to be old now. I really am.
Older,
exactly.
Now, we know you've got a one-woman show coming up in London in May. So what about your singing talents? Perhaps people don't know about that you're a good singer. I certainly had no idea. Tell us.
Oh, well, I actually started singing whilst I was doing Mind Your Language. I was singing, and I made five records, I think I made, and one of them was number 70 in England, and the other, and it actually reached number 1 in Belgium, if you can believe. And I don't know, yeah, exactly. And I don't know what happened to France. I did do a TV show in Paris, and I don't know where that went. So, but I do sing, and I do have a voice. I think it's good. I don't know, but we'll see on the day when I do the one-woman show.
And you've got you're trying to launch a movie as well, I hear.
Yes, it's called Land of Hope and Glory. And it's about the people that came to England in the 50s. And they help clean England. Really, they help the infrastructure of England in the 50s. The Windrush.
The Windrush.
People,
so you're trying to find that elusive development money, are you, or have you got that already?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find that elusive development money for 6 years. I've been trying to find that. It's really hard.
They say it's easier, if you go to people with funds. If you say, I want 60 grand, they go, well, not really. Oh, have you got 600? Oh, well, really? Well, let's talk about that. It's very funny.
Let's go for 6 million.
That'll do.
And see what happens.
But they do say that's the hardest money to get, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah. And will you be starring in this?
Oh no, I'm producing it, and I'm not starring in anything. I really cannot remember lines anymore. I really have not the brain for it. It is so difficult at my age to be able to remember lines. So difficult.
Yeah, I wish they had autocue on films. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Well, exactly. And if they had autocue also on stage, it would be even fantastic.
I might even give it a go then, but I just don't understand how people remember lines. And when you look at the greats like Burton and all these people drinking a bottle of scotch and going on and doing Macbeth, you think, how the heck are you doing that?
That helped them, the bottle of scotch helped their brain, I think.
Very hard. So what's left for you? The movie and anything else that's niggling there you want to do?
Well, I think it's left for me to just rest. Rest up and die.
Well, that sounds like a good movie title. Rest up and die.
Rest up and die.
Well, I'm going to be there on the 12th of May at the CAA, which is a wonderful venue, isn't it, Francoise?
Yes, it is. Are you did you say you were coming?
I'm going to be there, yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm really happy about that.
The CAA,
so many people.
The CAA itself, I mean, that's been there quite a few years, isn't it?
That's right. It's many years ago. I mean, oh, God. What's his name? Dixon of Dock Green. What's his name?
Jack Warner.
Jack Warner was the one who actually started it.
Good gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you come to the CAA and you go up in the bar after the show, you go up to the bar and you'll see his, all the pictures there. Mine is down there too.
I'm sure. So we've got an original constable on the wall.
Yep, the original.
The original constable. Well, Francoise, marvellous to talk to you after. Well, we have met before a couple of times, but I'm just so in awe. My jaw is hitting the floor as we talk. God bless you, and thanks for joining us on the Waffle Show. All right.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Spell, secrets you can't tell. Mix special brew. You're watching Spectrum on Air. XPTV3.
And welcome back. Now, as threatened, we have our first John Altman with us. Now, this particular John, as I said, a musician's musician. He's just been everywhere. Adverts or commercials, as we call them, movies, the works, and a few surprises in store. John Altman, welcome to the Waffle Show.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. And so, John, a bit of a question. You've probably been asked this many times before, but I'm going to spoil it anyway. As a lad, what did you want to be? Do you want to be a policeman, a bus driver, or what were your thoughts for the future?
Well, bizarrely, I was born into a musical family. My mother's four brothers were all well-known band leaders. Two of them were on television all the time. One of them was the main conductor at London Palladium in the golden age of variety. So basically, from when I was born, I was surrounded by people like Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, the Marx Brothers, Jack Benny, Bob Hope, Danny Kaye. The list is endless.
So really, John, there was no hope for you. It was music all the way.
It had to be. It had to be.
And you're known, of course, for your dexterity. That's another word I can't spell. Dexterity on the old saxophone. So how did that come about? Were you watching all these people on stage and thinking, I want to do that? I don't want to be a drummer. I don't want to be a trumpet. Oh, now that's the one I want to do.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's all shrouded in sort of the mist of time. But I think I always wanted to play saxophone for some reason. And when I was just before 13, my uncle brought me a tenor sax. I already played recorder, so I sort of knew my way around it. I got it on Friday and I did a gig on Saturday. It must have been horrible, but that was the start.
Painful for them, but not for you. And so, were your family helping you during this progress? I suppose they probably were behind you all the way.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I never got... I sort of got, oh, that's nice, you're playing the saxophone. I didn't get tips. My uncle Sid Phillips gave me a clarinet, which I still have, which I can't really work out. Although I've recorded on it, I don't really know what it does. I took up the flute because I thought sax players played the flute, which a lot of them do. And I recorded on flute. I even filled in on Nights in White Satin when I produced the Moody Blues. I played the famous flute solo.
Good Lord.
Their flute player mimed to my playing.
Ray Thomas mimed to you?
He mimed to me, yes. He just, I don't know why, but he couldn't get it right.
Well, he probably had a few brandies. I used to work with Ray, and he liked his brandy.
I said to Justin, who I've known very well for years, is it ever going to get right? He went, I don't think so. So I went out and did it, and it was great. I mean, I enjoyed working with a lot of bands and artists as an arranger and producer.
So you're an arranger and producer. So you're going through the steps, you're climbing the ladder, etc. But of course, you've done so much in the world of commercials and movies. Was there one particular moment when that quantum leap happened?
Well, I mean, I guess I can trace it back when I'd made records before I went to university, and I'd played with Peter Green when he left Fleetwood Mac, and played with Nick Drake and John Martin and Kevin Ayres, and this was all before I had a career. And I came to London to do a PhD in Victorian literature, and I got headhunted by Hot Chocolate, the band. Just as You Sexy Thing came out, I joined them, and that really kicked it all off.
I mean, so did you play on any of the hits?
No, I was a touring musician, so
right.
Basically a horn section. I did the same for Van Morrison. I led the horn section and wrote the arrangements for their stage act.
So that then would lead into things like, the leap would be to things like Titanic, the movie, and all these things. I mean, we could talk for hours about what that gap must have been.
Eventually, it's a number of factors came together. I started doing transcriptions, takedowns for the BBC, because American acts would come over and they wouldn't have any music. So I would write out the music for the Two Ronnies or whatever the show was, and they just come and sing, and the music was there. So I did Don Williams, Stylistics, Telly Savalas, who I wound up as musical director for, and that led me into writing BBC, like Miss Marple. I did all the Joan Hicks and Miss Marples, and gradually I started, why don't you write it? So I went from being an arranger for other people to composing, and at the same time, Jill Sinclair, the late Jill Sinclair, who was married to Trevor Horn, introduced me to Jeff Wayne, and I started writing commercials for Jeff Wayne Music.
So that was the point.
Yeah, 40 years of that. So it was interesting. I was running parallel careers in TV, movies, records, live gigs, and commercials.
But all this time, John, you're in the background. You're making all this happen. Somewhere, are you thinking, "Gosh, I wish I could get out there and do a hit single. I wish I could be in front of." I mean, I know. In fact, you do now with the sax.
I like the anonymity of doing Life of Brian, for example, or James Bond, and then walking down the street without anybody knowing that I, whistle, always look on the right side of life, or whatever.
You spelt that because I was going to say, and we were talking recently. So, yeah, so was it the Fred Tomlinson Singers? Was that right?
Fred Tomlinson Singers, yeah. I arranged and conducted Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. I worked with the Python team since 1973. I played on Matching Tie and Handkerchief.
Oh, it's one of my favourite albums. I didn't know that.
Well, I went to play saxophone. I wound up singing and doing hand claps. I won't say what we were impersonating, but it was fun. And I've been in their orbit ever since. I did the Ruttles and Life of Brian and Eric the Viking and Terry Jones' Fairy Tales and Secret Policeman's Ball. So it was, I'm still very much in touch with Terry Gilliam and Michael Palin.
The Ruttles, for instance, I mean, that was an amazing creation, wasn't it?
Fantastic to work on.
Was it All You Need Is... What was it? Cash. That's right. And wasn't there a lawsuit about that somewhere?
Oh, the ramifications were absurd, I mean, it wound up with John Lennon and George Harrison warning Neil Innes that he'd be sued. And, ATV Music suing with George Harrison defending, saying, this is nonsense.
That's amazing. And that session with the Fred Tomlinson Singers, I mean, that must have been something, because the movie itself and that song has sort of carved itself into movie culture somehow.
Well, believe it or not, it was an afterthought. They didn't have an ending for the film. And Eric said, I've written a song, which was actually greeted with not too much enthusiasm. And we went in to record it, and it was the same week as I worked with Julie Stein, who wrote Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Gypsy and Funny Girl. And to me, that was like a crowning moment of my life. And doing Bright Side of Life happened to be on the Thursday or Friday. And it's a morning session. We did everything in the morning, except for the lead vocal. The singers came in, and I disappeared and went to another session. I've got no idea where I went or why I went.
Do you remember how much you were paid for the session to whistle?
£300 for everything.
Well, that's not bad for back then, I suppose.
I bought a car, yeah.
From whistling. Brilliant.
£300, fantastic. But we never knew it was going to be what it became, which is an iconic track.
With the Pythons, I mean, was it, one would think it was Laugh a Minute and Ho Ho Ha Ha, because it appears that is what the Pythons were creating, Laugh a Minute. But I guess there were serious moments too.
It was a lot of fun. I just remember, for example, we were in the pub on the day of Graham Chapman's memorial, and I think an article had just come out in News of the World about John Cleese's girlfriend or something, and he was saying something like, the headline should have been Prankster's Mole. So it was that whole thing. There were always lines that cropped up, even when we were working very seriously.
And of course, there was that great Cleese speech at Chapman's funeral, which was...
Oh, yeah, I was playing piano. You can see me on the film.
No!
Sweater, playing Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
John, I never knew all this. This is amazing. So as you go on, you're still working as ever. But I've got a list here. The people with your commercials: David Bailey, John Frankenheimer, Sir Salman Rushdie, Tony Scott. I mean, these are giants. And were you in any way taken aback working with these people?
No, I mean, it was interesting because a lot of the directors like Ridley Scott and photographers like David Bailey and Terence Donovan made a lot of money doing commercials, and they didn't feel that they were stooping too low or anything like that. they enjoyed them and they took them seriously. And they would come to the session and they would have their comments about sessions. And looking back now, I think, I did, you know, how many commercials with Ridley Scott? We went to the Mojave Desert and I directed him because he operated the camera.
No.
I had to thump him on the back and tell him, you know, stop padding, cut, wallop, wallop, wallop. And he said, you're not hitting me hard enough. I can't feel it.
But of course, these commercials were the forerunner of the great movies. So they shot the commercials like movies, really, didn't they?
Oh, totally. Well, they were mainly doing them at the same time as the movies.
Ah.
So even, I mean, for example, when he did Gladiator, Ridley, I then did his Prada commercial maybe a year later. A 7-minute cinema commercial for Prada.
So meanwhile, you're still in the back room, John. You're still there. You're not up front, but of course, these days you're well known for your big band, your bands, and are you enjoying playing as much as you did?
Well, yeah, totally. When during lockdown, I wrote my autobiography, and I thought, well, it's time to try and come out of the shadows, you know, and people know all the work I've done, as you say, but they don't know that I did it, whether it's Sheila's Wheels or B&Q or the ship sinking in Titanic, you know, there I am, or James Bond going through St. Petersburg or whatever, or always look on the bright side of life. So it's a double-edged thing, you know, you want to come out the shadows, but people will say, well, who the hell are you? And you think, well, maybe I should have done it a few years before.
Well, I tell you what, John, I've been around the block a few times, and I can drop a name, but when I see you and we have a chat now, I just give up with you. I just give up and I just forget it. You're not a name dropper. You're an extraordinary man who's worked with extraordinary people. But John, bless you for coming on the Waffle Show, and good luck with everything, and may you whistle forever.
My pleasure.
Thank you, John.
Cheer up, Brian. You know what they say? Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. Hey. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Come on. Always look on the right side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your scene, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. So always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show, keep 'em laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Come on, Brian, cheer up. Always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side of life. First things happen to see, you know. will come from nothing, you know what I say? Cheer up, you old bugger. Come on, give us a grin.
Hi, and welcome to that time of the week when the stars come out to play and waffle away to the main man, the top banana, the big kahuna, the waffle meister himself, Mr. Steve Blacknell.
Yes, indeed, I'm Steve Blacknell. Welcome to the Waffle Show, a brand new show. Greetings.
Hello, greetings.
We did what is regarded, I understand, as everyone's favourite sketch when Neil dropped some LSD into my tea. Do you remember?
The other week.
Hi, Steve.
Hi there, mate. So when did you first learn you were going to be Marty Wilde? Were you shocked?
It was a bit like Elton John and Ancliffe. Marty Wilde doesn't know a crotchet from a hatchet.
I was ogling at the TV screen, my jaw dropping.
I've got this little Kodak Instamatic which I've still got.
I'm Steve Blacknell, and welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Welcome the other John Altman. Well, a couple of years ago, well, more than a few years ago, and I've worked with some people in my time, but I've never, ever, and I'm sure you must have got fed up with say Ma. Go on, say Ma. So when you went solo, remind me. So first up.
Obviously, you know, you're 86.
And he even managed to take the Mick to make fun of royalty as well, and got away with it.
Oh, little grovelling bastard.
And welcome back to the Waffle Show. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, maybe it's, we shouldn't go into it.
Celebrity. We'll be able to pronounce that when you meet him. Celebrant, I believe it is. Russ, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's celebrant.
And yeah, I eventually got it right. Okay, welcome back. Now to someone who was born, he says, at an early age.
Dee, Mr. Blacknell.
Hello there, sir. How are you?
Terrified until I met you. How unfortunate.
Let me explain what a celebrant is, because as you managed to mispronounce it so many times, people are quite confused. Cannot legally say the words, I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Blacknell. I can't do that. That's, there's nothing. It's just, I can do everything else, but you're not under UK law legally married. Just ask Jerry Hall how she feels about that.
It was all just sticking out, and I just went like that.
Wow, that's an incredible. How are you, sir? You're looking in fine fettle, and you've washed your hair, I see.
I'm in very. It washes itself these days. I'm in very good shape.
let's go back there. So when I was in Hollywood, I tried to do stand up, and when
you went to Hollywood, you've never mentioned. Why you kept that quiet?
What a good idea!
I was delighted to find that one of the reasons the Beatles broke up was when they were recording the White Album. Yoko Ono went across the studio and helped herself to one of George's digestive biscuits. And this did not please George. He was very upset. He put a smile on my face.
You're watching Spectrum on Air, XPTV3.
And welcome back. So to our second John Altman. Well, he's been a mod in a movie. He's been a Star Wars pilot. He's been a Beatle, but you probably know him better from being on the telly in the huge soap EastEnders as Nasty Nick. Well, I can tell you he's not that nasty at all. He's actually quite a nice fellow. Welcome the other John Altman.
Hi, Steve. Good to be on board.
Absolutely, John. So before we kick off, is it true that you and the other John have actually done work together?
Yes. Yeah. We met at a commercial, actually. I think it was a studio near Marble Arch, if I recall. I knew he was around. I think he must have seen my name as well. So he stayed behind while I was coming in to do the voiceover, and we met, and we became great friends. It was quite bizarre, really, and so we actually did a gig at the Pheasantry on the King's Road one time. John's sense of humour being much the same as mine, the Pythons, etc., Peter Cook, Dally Moore, whatever. Anyway, zany humour. He put on the poster, John Altman presents John Altman. and I sang a few, numbers it was just sort of quite jazz orientated, and still got the blues, and song from Chicago, All I Care About Is Love. So it was a fun evening, actually, and a treat to work with him. Yeah.
Of course, we know you as an actor. Of course, we know you as an actor, but your voice ain't that bad. And in fact, what was it? I'm trying to think how many years ago, but you actually fronted the Heavy Metal Kids, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was reported somewhere that I took the place of Gary Holton, but he was in the band a long time before I joined. And yeah, it all came about through someone who knew them and thought I might be ideal because they're looking for a lead singer. Yeah, I was with them for a couple of years. They were so loud. I had to put earplugs in the rehearsal room. Cosmo, the lead guitarist, turned it up full blast. But that was good fun because I'd seen them obviously in the past. And over the years, yeah, talking of music. Not a lot of people know that I have been involved with music, but I was self-taught drummer and guitarist from the early years of my life. I used to practice in my bedroom on the drums to the Shadows, Sandy Nelson. If John's watching, he must know that one. Let There Be Drums, and it was an album we had out called Birth of the Beat. I always remember, and it was brilliant because it started off with just this kind of like primitive boom, 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 and jungle sounds, that sort of thing going on in the background, boom, to a primeval swamp. This beat, and it gradually gathered momentum and turned into an amazing drum solo with some guitar and bass, etc. So yeah, I practiced. That's how I learned the drums, with the Shadows, of course, as well. And then a few years later, I taught myself to play guitar. And over the years, as you said earlier, not many people know about my musical side, but I've dabbled in it. Well, not really dabbled. I take it quite seriously, actually, because I love it so much. And I worked on my singing voice. I took some really good lessons with a lady called Penny Harvey Piper, who was based in Wimbledon, sadly no longer with us. She was a really good music teacher of the old school, a little bit strict, but also a really lovely person. And I would say it was due to her that I got the gig in Chicago, the musical, playing Billy Flynn, which was an absolute treat to work on a show like that. They had a decent amount of rehearsals, and it was a joy. And we do 2 weeks in each place. It was the first UK tour. Normally, you only get a week when you're touring. And so you unpack your suitcase, put your toothpaste and toothbrush in the glass, and the next thing you know, you're on the road again. But with 2 weeks in each place, it was great. You could actually get to know various cities. And I kind of realised, I was thinking the other year, that I probably lived in every major city in the UK. Not people can say that, can they? From like Bournemouth to Inverness. I probably lived or stayed there due to the touring as an actor.
Sure.
And other bands, Resurrection, I formed. There was another band called the Hitmail, a punk band in the 70s. And I've been recording over the last couple of years. I've been putting some videos out, and there's a new one I'm working on called Sat Nav Girl at the moment. Trying to get that sorted out. It's got a lot of AI in it, so it's quite a complicated piece to put to video. So that should be coming out at some point. Yeah, it's all about a guy who's in love with the voice of the Sat Nav Girl. Yeah.
But of course, John, these are sides that not many people know about you. The mod on a movie, of course, was Quadrophenia. Not many people know that you were on Return of the Jedi as a pilot, which I had no idea about. That was
very much I'll interrupt you there, very much a blink and you miss me. I worked on it for about a week, and had the joy of driving into London with George Lucas and Richard Markham, the director, one time. But yeah, you won't really be able to see, but I did work on it. It was a great experience, yeah. And as for Quadrophenia, wow, I loved the album Quadrophenia, and then so ending up working on it, I lapped it up, and I love film, so I grew up watching movies in the cinema because we didn't have a TV when I was a kid in Herne Bay, North Kent, just north of you. Yeah. So I go there twice a week, and Saturday morning pictures and all the rest of it. Brought up very much in the cinema, and there were all those. It was like with the music, really. I mean, all those great movies that came out in the '60s from. A Hard Day's Night was pretty amazing. Dr. No, the first Bond, seeing the first Dollars Western with Clint Eastwood, because prior to that, I'd seen kind of John Wayne and all the rest of them were great cowboys, but seeing that Dollars Western, it kind of blew all the Westerns away, I thought. It was just amazing. I've never seen anything like it, where people were really bleeding, and it was kind of moody, and and the music was fantastic. Well, you probably remember the first time you saw it. Yeah, so I had the joy of... experiencing all those films. Very lucky, really, to be growing up during that time.
Well, a couple of years ago, well, more than a few years ago, I worked with you, and you had a single out or whatever it was. We were walking through London, and I've worked with some people in my time, but I've never, ever, ever walked around London with anyone so well known as you. I mean, it was ridiculous. And I'm sure you must have got fed up with say Ma. Go on, say Ma. I mean, do you reckon that the role of Nasty Nick has been a sort of a stumbling block to you in any way? I mean, it's given you fame and fortune, I understand. But has it held you back coming out of the EastEnders?
To be honest, yes, it has in many ways because of the impact the character had. And I think June Brown said that Nick Cotton spoilt your career, dear, you know, because I was so strongly identified with it. And I'm speaking to a casting director one time, and she was working with this director. She's a friend of mine, this lady, and she said that the director said, I don't want any soap actors, if you don't mind, on this film, so don't bother getting any in for auditions. And I thought, what prejudice? You know, it's like saying to John Altman, yeah, no, you can't sing any rock here. It's got to be jazz or vice versa. It's an insult to any actor to say that. And I think some of the performances when I've worked really hard on it at times, the heroin addictions episodes, etc. But watching the performances that those people put in and knowing the time they have to put it together. Francoise was talking about learning the lines, you know, and you got these days you have 4 scripts under the door every week, so the whole weekend would go if you've got a heavy lot of scenes to do on the following week. So it's really hard work, and I think the quality of some soap actors is equivalent to BAFTA award winning and Oscar worthy as well. Because I think it's hard work. So to actually have some sort of prejudice, but if you look at it, I mean, you have to be honest. I never went up for Downton Abbey, but if I had done, unfortunately, if I went in as well, I could have gone. I could have gone upstairs, you know. I could easily have done that, you know, or I could have gone downstairs. But I suppose even if I'd been downstairs, somebody had gone, "Oh look, it's Nick Cotton in Downton Abbey," you know. Do you know what I mean? So and a lot of the cast in that were fairly new, weren't they, when they came in? There was some of the leads were quite well known, a couple of the leads, but so you have to stand back and look at it and work out the reason why, that you didn't go up for Downton Abbey.
So there's a plus and a minus, I guess.
But on the other hand, top the bill in Panto, earn a few nice quid at Christmas, all being well, and like touring the country. I mentioned Chicago earlier. And it has opened a few doors here and there. So a double-edged sword, really. So no regrets, but the facts are, yes, it did make a difference.
Talking of double-edged sword, I mean, I don't know how many years ago it was because we know each other decades, you and me, but I rang you once, and I heard you say, I can't talk at the moment. I'm in the middle of a sword fight, and no one's ever said that to me ever on the phone. And during rehearsals, Peter Pan or Lavatory Pan, whatever.
Right? Yeah.
I can't talk at the moment. No, I'm in a sword fight. Yeah, but I've seen you on TV. I mean, you're a good presenter, John. I mean, you make sense because. I mean, I teach autocue for a living, for instance, and I find learning lines very, very, very tough. But for you, it's second nature, I guess, and I've seen you. So does TV work beckon you? Would you like to do some presenting, do you think?
Well, I put together a trailer for, it's called Extraordinary Tales of the Isle of Wight. My mastermind subject was the Isle of Wight, would you believe it? I mean, they really kind of one subject they haven't used, you know. So I did that. I didn't do that well on it, but I unearthed all these amazing stories about the Isle of Wight, where I've been going since I was about 1 or even younger, because we used to go there every summer for a holiday. So I went there in my mum's time as well. So I'm a great lover of the Isle of Wight, but I discovered all these amazing things like the pipeline that went under the ocean to Cherbourg during the Second World War. It was called Pluto. I don't know if you know about that. Here's a bit of trivia. It was the pipeline under the pipeline under the ocean, and they pumped all this fuel under the sea to the D-Day troops, so they could, drive their tanks, etc., and armoured cars. And other things. I mean, Hendrix did his last gig there. The Germans actually invaded the Isle of Wight once, and they kidnapped a soldier and took him back to France, but nobody knew, because all these things often covered things up, didn't they, just to keep the morale up. But if they'd heard that the Germans had popped over and raided the Isle of Wight, everybody would have panicked, evacuated the island probably. But anyway, so it's a good series, and I'm still trying to get it off the ground. So if there's anybody out there would like to see the video, or get in touch through your good self or my agent.
Oh, the secret agent. They're the people you can never reach. I know. When I was in Hollywood, they called them the secret agent because you could never find out where they were. I remember.
No,
Yeah, very
it can
much.
be difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So ambitions, John. Maybe Nick Cotton. You know, it's been a while, as you say, but you're still so recognisable. But at the back of the brain, what more is there to do for you?
So much. I've never played the West End. I've rehearsed in the West End, but never actually played the West End. And I would love to. I'd like to make a big movie again. I just love, as I was saying earlier, my great love of film. I'm never bored on a film set because I'm looking at, why they're putting the lights there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, or working out the technical side of it as well. So some actors say they get bored silly on a film set, but I never do. So I love that whole world, and you move on the next day like a circus to the next location. Yeah, so or a good TV series, I guess. Yeah, So I'd love to go to Hollywood. I never worked there. I worked in America once. Did a pilot for a film about John Lennon, which never came to fruition. But yeah, so there's a couple of things there, but many other things. A hit single, yeah.
You're a great George Harrison in that Beatles movie.
I love doing that. I mean, God, and what a joy, because you had to have your favourite Beatle in the playground when I was a kid, like your favourite football team. And so I thought, oh, George looks a bit like me. And I always liked George's songs too. Like If I Needed Someone, a little known song there, but that was a really beautiful song. And he was allowed, wasn't he, to have a couple of tracks on the album, but of course, when they broke up, All Things Must Pass. What a fantastic. I wonder if John was on that playing the sax somewhere in one of the jams on the end.
Probably.
He might have been.
Probably.
So. That was an absolute joy, and I worked really hard on it, watching videos and working on the accent, because none of us were Scousers, and in fact we spoke such raw Scouse that if that's the right word, that the Americans couldn't understand it. Things like diesel time, that'll do here, you know what I mean, Steve, and they couldn't their mind Stallone mumbling away on the screen, they couldn't understand the Liverpool accent, so we had to redub the whole film at Pinewood. So there you go.
Really? Well, I never knew that.
Yeah, and we're none of us were Scousers either. We had Mike Angelis from the Liverbirds. I don't know if you remember him. Yeah. He was our tutor for the Liverpool accent. But love Liverpool.
Well, there's a Pandora's box there, John, of things that people didn't know about Nasty Nick, or more so John Altman. But John, thank you so much. I hope to see you and the other John in concert together, and John Altman meets John Altman. Who knows?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, the O2, John Altman versus John Altman or something. Yeah. I could do some rock, he could do some jazz, yeah.
I'll be there. John Altman, thank you very much indeed, mate.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Thank you, mate.
Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The right police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Boredom creeping in. Wasting time is such a sin. There's so much trash on the TV screen. Don't wanna be like a wasted teen. Seen all the box sets on Netflix. Fed up with booze and need some real kicks. Hollywood remakes are such a bore. James Bond's an aging dinosaur. Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The right police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Restless blood flows through my veins. Spent the weekend dodging trains. Streak on the pitch at the Euros final. Melt down all your best friends final. Let's show the world what we can do. Don't waste time feeling blue. Dye your hair the colours of the rainbow. Why oh why? It's 'cause you're a weirdo. Jump around on a bed of hot coals. Send out messages and troll the trolls. Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The right police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Put your parents' party on Instagram. shopping precincts. Pander to your primal instinct. We can shop naked in the supermarket. Aha, let's price up Morton Harket. We will drive you round the bend. There's no knowing where this will end. Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The riot police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The riot police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The riot police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Let's do something outrageous. Let's do it now. The riot police will never cage us. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. Oh yeah. All right.
Whiffle waffle is a piffle to me. I sit here in Broadmoor, the super show.
I don't know because everyone keeps waffling on and I can't hear a bloody thing.
Well, I have heard it, but apparently it's run by a bloke called Steve Blacknell. And I'm afraid if I watch it, I'll be receiving emails and bloody texts demanding money.
The Waffle TV show? What's that? A load of
Never catch on, mate. Never catch on.
If you want to rock at the rough waffle, let's rock, but mind the gap.
Well, I just ate one covered in caramel. I can't say it was worth the 50 quid, but you know. I don't know about the show though. Is it dancing waffles?
It sounds like a really good cookery programme.
Well, all I know about waffle is that whenever I wear this badge, people want to talk to me. And when I don't wear it, they don't want to talk to me. But this guy called Steve Blacknell, has anyone ever heard of him? No.
Well, there is an art to the waffle. I don't know what it is yet.
But the Waffle Show is so dreadful. It's full of presenters with large bottoms and warts on their chin.
The Waffle Show? Oh!
Oh, terrible. I ain't gonna watch that again.
I know nothing about it at all. All I know is that is a waffle.
Waffle? That's 48 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back.
The Waffle Show? Dominic's a liar. He's never seen it. None of us have seen it. I bet it's a load of
Waffle? Never heard of it, but I understand there's people like you on it. So that must make it.
It's the best thing I've never seen.
What is a Blackpool waffle then? That one bedrooms of a what? By Steve Blacknell.
That Waffle TV show is full of people who are a waffle short of a picnic.
Absolutely diabolical. And that Steve Blacknell guy was a real.
I am never happier than when I am watching a Waffle Show.
Hello, Steve Blacknell here, and I've finally written me memoirs, Tales from the Bedroom Wall. It's all about meeting your musical heroes, losing millions, Hollywood heartbreak, from my first love Kate Bush to Mr. Phil Collins and Concord. Addictions, rock and roll madness, I tell you, and the fact that anyone can be an idiot if they try hard enough. It's available now on Amazon and at all good bookshops. And of all the books out this year, I can guarantee this is going to be one of them. Hello.
You're watching Spectrum on Air. XPTV3.
Well, as proof that we had the two Johns together, both you, John, and John, bless you. Any plans for another gig? Sax John?
You never know. You never know.
You never know what's round the corner, but I wish you well. And John Altman, number 2, wish you well with your number 1. I'm sure you're going to get there, mate.
Bless you. It's been a pleasure to be on your first show, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Bless you. Run and run.
Bless you, sir. Yeah, run and run.
Next time, 3 Brad Pitts.
3 bad pits. That'll do it. I'm sure you know them anyway, John. Thanks very much indeed.
Good to see you.
And thanks to all our guests, or what remains of them after this debacle. This is what's left of me, Steve Blacknell, saying have a good time till next time when it's time for the Waffle Show. And keep on waffling.
This is XPTV3, a UK-based TV station and partner of Spectrum On Air, broadcasting live across the globe. Live every day, bringing you an eclectic mix of music, conversation and entertainment. From emerging artists to lively discussion programmes, we connect voices and audiences in real time. Watch on your Amazon Fire Stick, smart TV, phone, laptop or desktop. Wherever you are, we're live. XPTV3, where voice meets vision.